Welcome, everybody, to a 1 month and a half late episode of the SOSO podcast. Holy shit. It has been a busy, busy month for month and a half. It's still pretty busy, but especially for you, Blue. It's last month to this month. A lot of stuff happened.
I was barely home,
Yeah, it's good to have you back.
so it's nice coming back.
The return of the SOSO pod is the return of Blue into this house.
Mm-hmm.
So you're back to work doing your thing, but what were you doing for the last 2 months?
I was at Parco for the pop-up.
What's Parco?
And then TGS for 4 days. So Parco is just a big mall that we have here. It's where like the Pokemon Center is in Shibuya, for those of you who have visited. Hello on it.
And you were doing it you were there for
like a month. And then TGS is like a game convention. Was also last month, so I was there for a couple days.
It's wild.
So yeah, lots of physically like standing in stores, which I haven't done since my last job. So it's kind of wild going back to that.
Right, because I used to go visit your work when you were working at your old job. It wasn't Parco, but it was one of those like mall complexes. So it was kind of weird seeing you.
And another one.
Yeah, but this time it was a different experience, I think, overall. Responsibility wise and just, your motivation for everything. Like, you're working really late. You came home at like 11 every day.
Well, I mean, it's for like clothes that I designed, so it was very,
really
different
cool.
experience than just like selling clothes that just in the store.
Right. Definitely, it seemed like a positive experience. I was just wondering, I was just worried that you were going to get like, you were going to break.
I got
physically
sick, which I still can't get over for some reason, so I'm like still sniffling. So a part of me.
You should get that checked.
Too late now. Too late now. So.
But you powered through?
Yeah.
And you're back now. How does it feel to be back?
Weird. I feel like, I don't know. Yeah, it's kind of weird.
What's weird about it?
I feel like I'm not working.
Oh, right, because the engine was running so fast before.
Yeah, like I was running on adrenaline, and now I don't have any, and now it's like back to work, and it was like, wait, how did I used to work?
Yeah, it was kind of weird seeing you kind of just go back to your like normal meetings.
Yeah.
It felt like, you guys are definitely, I can tell you're working. It's not like you aren't working, but just the pace of everything in the last 2 months was just so different. Like the pacing of everything was that it seems like it's hard to kind of readjust to. It was like already
there's a
fast
lot of
paced.
catching up to do, so
Yeah, it was like fast paced to hyper speed and then back to fast kind of thing. So
yeah, now that I have, because I was gone for a month basically, I have a lot of catching up to do. So October's not going to be any less busy.
Are you guys kind of just busy till the end of the year then, or like
I think so? Yeah.
Next year too. You guys have things planned and stuff.
Probably till like December. I think it's when it'll start getting not so busy.
So you can rest at the end of the year a little bit, maybe?
Yeah, maybe during, like Christmas time.
Cool. When everyone takes times off, I guess.
Yeah.
Well, one of the things that I wanted to mention that definitely is worth mentioning is because of the pop-up. I remember we've been talking about it for years, but it finally happened where we had to reveal our names. And it was something that you've been talking about for a while, even before Nonsense. You were like, I think it's just time. But you just wanted to it's not a big deal. It really is not a big deal. But it's just kind of cool. I always wanted to keep that separate because there's not many people that do that. The people have like online aliases, but they also they don't hide their real names. And people kind of knew our names. Some people knew our names, but generally it was something that wasn't out there. And I thought that was kind of cool. I thought it was a kind of a cool thing to have. But we made our name reveals and I thought it was a good time to make that name reveal because there was a meaning behind it. So how does it feel for you? Now that anything different?
The thing is, like, so after I made my name reveal on Twitch, right? and we didn't really announce it on socials.
No.
So Joey released this video of like, here, this is kind of what happened. Like, it's like a video about the pop-up, and I'm in it, and he addresses me as Haru, and then
kind of the big reason why you had to make the name.
Yeah, it's because I knew he was going to be releasing videos with me in it as his designer, and he didn't want to introduce me as Blue.
Right.
It has nothing to do with Blluist.
Mm-hmm.
So I was like, okay, yeah, that's fine. I've been wanting to make a name reveal anyway, so it was totally fine. But then, yeah, so in the video, he introduces me, right? I look at the comment section, and I think a few people are like, oh no, like name got revealed, like with like a panic face.
Oh, okay.
Like they didn't. I don't think they realized that I made a name reveal. So I'm guessing it's like
Makes
people
sense.
from our community that maybe aren't here every day, who saw the video, and they're like, "Oh no, he just leaked her name." And it's like, wait, it's fine.
Right, and I think that's kind of my fault because I didn't want to put it out on socials. I made that choice. I said I don't think we need to put it out on socials. It's not a big deal anyways. So I don't want to put it out. There's no need to just make like a announcement tweet or anything like that. It's like whatever. So I think for people that maybe not even like community, but people that know of us.
Yeah, maybe it could be that they know of us.
That's cool though that they're checking the video out and stuff. But yeah, I think it's definitely. I mean, there was a lot of sharing that I did, and about my life. For you, it was more of like a business.
Yeah,
it was a business
any,
choice.
Uncovered albums, just sleeping in this like darkness. So.
In the darkness.
Yeah, I don't have anything like to reveal. Being like, hey, by the way, I have albums that I released. Like, no, mine's just a fucking horse video.
I mean, let's be honest. Legendary moment when we got to actually watch the horse video that was kind of in the ether for 6-7 years, and we got to finally see it with the crew. That was pretty cool. But yeah, I think I was really, really uncomfortable, to be honest, for like the first 2 days. I think I was talking to you about it. I was like, I don't know. It feels fucking weird. It feels like it's very out of my comfort zone because it's just something that I didn't want to. For the longest time, it was something that I didn't want to associate with Blluist. I actively did not want to do that. So, and I have my reasons for that, but I'm at a point where the only reason why I'm even talking about this on the podcast, on stream, is because I'm comfortable with it, and I have things that I want to do, new stage of my life, creatively, that requires me to share that information, unless I want to also hide that new project from everybody, because I'm going to be doing it under my real name. So, but yeah, so I guess with the name reveal, and we don't. I think I might have touched upon it a little bit, but I just kind of, on my end, I want to talk about why I made it, because it seems kind of random, right? Like, okay, well, you made the name reveal, and you're like, can I just say my name? And I was like, hold up. I think it was on stream. You're like, oh yeah, by the way, I have to make my name reveal. So, and then I was like, hold your horses. Let's do something fun. This is Blluist. Like I want to, if we're going to do something that cool, the name drop itself is so nothing. Let's actually make something out of it. Let's make it like an event here. So you gave me like 2-3 weeks to come up with something. I totally forgot about it, and then
I mean, midway through, you were like, "Just say it."
Yeah, I totally
just say it.
I was like,
"No, you said you were gonna make it an event."
And then I think it was on the train. We were heading somewhere, and then we're like, you know what? We should actually. You're like, I really need to make the name reveal soon because the video's coming out. You already got like the unlisted video at that point with your name in it, and we're like, okay, shit, what do we do? And then it was just like another like on the spot thing. It's like, okay, how about we make a game out of it, and it's like a relationship compatibility game. And every single time we get the right answer, we get the same answers, we reveal a name, a letter. And then it would be so quick if it was just your name first off. Like it would just end immediately because your name is 4 letters. Mm-hmm. And I thought, well, I have to make a name reveal. I had plans to make a name reveal, and it was actually way after. The plans to make the name reveal for me was going to be way afterwards. But then I just thought, just do it now, and then just do it.
It didn't make sense to just keep it. So.
And then we're like, I can make my name. My name's pretty long. My full name is pretty long. So then I was like, oh, we could do like, which letter is it? Like, is it for Blue's name? Is it my name? Blah, blah, blah. And so...
so we both went with our full names because it'd be longer.
Yeah, and
it was pretty long.
It was really fun. I think people enjoyed it. I enjoyed it. I think you enjoyed it too. It was just a fun way to kind of... Nothing like big event, but it was definitely a fun community thing. Big moment for some people. And I think that was... I think it went well. I'm okay with it now. I'm completely comfortable with it now. I think the people around us are like, oh, fucking thank God. Now I don't have to like think about messing up your names, which it's happened. And we've never like faulted anyone for this, but it has happened many times when we streamed with people because it's just natural, right? Because we don't go by blue and gray when we hang out with people.
I mean, there's been times where apparently I was playing like Monster Hunter and my brother wanted to join, but he was like, I'm not going to be able to call you Blue, so I'm not going to join.
That's one of the reasons why one of my best friends, Mikey, doesn't really want to be on stream because like we play like Apex and one time he did an IRL stream and he was there straight up just said my name. And after that, I was like, it's fine. Don't worry about it. You know, like.
But he just felt so bad that he was like, yeah, I'm not going to be on your stream anymore.
So he would keep calling us Blue and Gray when we play
really
Apex.
Weird. Yeah, it was really weird.
To like train himself.
Yeah, didn't work though.
Yeah, and I was like, dude, it doesn't have to, man. We know each other for like 20 years. That'd be weird if it did, you know? Yeah. Like you can't just override somebody's name. So I think it was completely natural. And I think it puts a lot of pressure off of other people. Also, you know what's another thing that's like kind of not as big but is helpful is when we introduce ourselves in a business situation, I don't have to have that conversation in my head where I'm like, well, there's a company and I go by Gray. I'm going to tell them my real name, but it's weird being like, oh, by the way, people don't know my real name, so can you just
Yeah, it's really weird having that conversation.
It kind of feels like, who the fuck are you? You know, like, who cares about that? And it was always, it's not a big deal. Everyone that we worked with has been super nice about it, and they've been understanding about it. But it's just another thing that we put on somebody that is another level of like, extra sentence. I think it was specifically. I think it was TGS a couple of years ago, and we got some business passes, and we had plans to stream it. But you have to have that lanyard on you at all times, or else they're like, "Why are you here?" Mm-hmm. So then we had to sign up with Blue and Gray, but that's not our real name. So then we had to like specify to the person that was getting us the passes, like, "Hey, like, can you put this on the name?" And I'm like, "This is such." Ridiculous back and forth, you know, and so all that's gone now. I'm really glad. That was just something that I realized afterwards. I was like, oh yeah, I don't have to do that anymore. You know, like it's just something that I don't have to worry about anymore. So that was a good thing. But besides that, I think nothing has changed, and as I expected, less than a month. So we made the name reveal a month ago, but it's just been. We're just back to Blue and Gray. Definitely some Ken jokes here and there, especially with what I did in the past. And I guess for people, there are some people that are checking up on our content here on YouTube exclusively, and I think it's really cool that this is the way that you catch up with us. By the way, sorry we're a month in. We're still here. We're still making the SOSO pod. My name is Ken. Nice to meet you.
I'm Blue. Nice to meet you.
Oh,
No,
come
I'm
on.
Haru.
Her name
I'm
is Haru.
Haru. Nice to meet you.
And I used to play music in. I used to play in a band almost 10 years ago. So there's a lot of like memes about that, which I've mentioned on stream, which was like the best thing. That people just went straight to the YouTube channel and just started making memes. Like that made me feel so much more comfortable. It was just another little bit of lore. People just treated it like just a little bit of lore, and I always welcome that kind of stuff. And I'm just glad people don't have to like, because people have found my content, stuff that I did in the past. They would DM me, be like, "Hey, is this you?" And I was like, "Sure looks like 24-year-old Gray. Yeah, that's definitely me." But I think it's cool that now I can be more open about it. People can joke around about it more, and we don't have to like be sensitive about it, even though everybody was. Um, it's just nice that, and I'm kind of starting up a new project thanks to Blue, where to kind of like give an kind of a overview of this all was I was gonna do a podcast, Blluist related podcast, and I had this planned last summer. I started planning last summer, and I had a good friend of mine that was helping me work on this. Didn't work out. We had some like life stuff that was happening, and so we had to take some pauses, and then we came back, and then we're like, all right. So we took 2 test shots. Blue was part of it too for one of it, and I had other friends help me out, and then we tried one where we said, it's really hard to schedule everything. Motivation, that initial drive isn't there anymore because it's just been so long. Let's try something where it's just me first, where it was me. So we did that. We took a whole day. We filmed a whole day of stuff, and I got the footage, and I looked at it, and it felt so wrong. I can't put my finger on what it is. Well, I can. It was that the guy in the center of the screen shouldn't be me for that specific content. Is what was in my head. It just felt so wrong that it was me. In that context, where it was, pretty much, it started off as what I'm actually doing right now. It's similar with the project that I'm working on right now, but instead of musicians and other content creators, it was more catered specifically towards content creators, where I get them and ask them stuff. And we shifted to that, to more of like showing where I grew up, and then starting that, and then having guests come in and tell us where special places in Tokyo are for them. And yeah, I just got like fucking depressed when I saw the footage, because it just didn't click. It just didn't click with me, and I was like, I don't want to put in work in something where I know I'm not going to be happy with it. It looked great. The footage looked great. It was just the content didn't really work out in my head. And I was just sitting here in this seat. Blue was right there, and she saw me, and she was just like, "You know what you're doing right now is that YouTube show that you did 10 years ago."
Yeah, you're just trying to replace it.
Yeah, and you're like, then fucking do it. Just do that again.
Do the fucking YouTube show. Like, stop trying to make another version of it when the first one worked.
What was going through your head when I mean, you've mentioned it before. We've tried doing stuff like that.
Yeah, I've mentioned it so many times of you bringing that back.
What was
but
it
kept
like?
Saying no.
Yeah, what was it like just watching me, like, when you were like, the answer's right there, you fucking idiot.
Yeah, you were like, it's like, like when children.
I love how this is. Yeah, just like children.
No, like, I think it was just obvious that you were trying to make that YouTube show again. And I didn't really understand why you were trying to remake that.
Right.
It just did not make any sense.
Yeah.
So I don't know. I didn't really get it.
Mm-hmm.
I didn't understand why you kept saying no, because it was like you're just trying to do the same thing, but without, like, just make a season 2. Why are you making like a whole different podcast?
That's true, yeah. And a lot of it is because I don't have a very good exit And my end credit scene for when I stopped playing music was not the best. And big reason why I kept Gray separate from everything else was because I wanted to separate myself. I was working in the scene as like with freelance jobs and stuff in the music scene, but I didn't I wasn't a musician. I wasn't like a public person anymore, and it was a personal thing. Growing pains for sure, because I was like 18,
it's like 10
19.
years ago, right?
Yeah, people hold on to that stuff. Like it's
don't hold on to it. Just say
sometimes
fuck it and just move on. Because the thing is, I'm not saying that like just without any kind of feeling or just, I'm not just saying that to say that. Like I had, my exit out of fashion was really bad too.
Right.
Like I burned a shit ton of bridges there
100%, 100%.
So, I mean, I was scared to go back into fashion industry, but when you think about it, it's like, okay, so what can you do? Are you just not going to do what you want to do for the rest of your life? Just because you burned like a few bridges? Like, yeah, it might come back and bite you in the ass, but if you don't try, then you're going to be the one, like, basically, what I'm trying to say is, do you really want to give that other person or company or whatever the satisfaction of kicking you out of your, I guess, like what you're good at?
Right. And I think you're right. And for me, there was a lot going through my head when I made, when you told me that, something clicked and it was an impulse decision. And I called my old crew after like 10 years, the main guy that I worked with, and I was like, he was at a Kombini buying shit because he was working, and I was like, he was like taking a break from the studio work, and I was like, hey, what's up? And he's like, yeah, it's been a bit. And I was like, yeah, you know that thing that we were doing 10 years ago, you want to do it again? And he's like, let's go.
And didn't he say like finally, because he wanted to do it too?
He actually asked me to do it way more than 5 years ago. When I went in, he was like, we should try bringing that up again. I completely rejected it. And this is way before we started streaming. But I was just like, nah, I don't want to do it. I'm not ready. I don't think I can do anything good. Because in my mind, I cut ties with everybody. And so, like mentally, not like I didn't actually like burn bridges.
He's just burning everything left and right. Just matchsticks everywhere.
It was more like where did he
go?
Where did he go? It was more like, where did he go? Like, it was just, I just kind of like exited without telling anybody, or I told everybody, like, put out a thing saying like, this is it. But I just didn't keep in touch with anybody. And then so, yeah, but he was like, yeah, let's fucking go. And then so, but I didn't want, this is really important. I didn't want everything that I did in streaming to be a stepping stone, or I didn't want to feel like mentally, oh, I don't see a future in streaming, so I'm going to go back. That's a really bad mental state for me, where, again, I'm just running away from something that I believe wasn't successful. Objectively, it has nothing to do with like what it actually is, but if I kept in the mentality like, okay, I got to run away from this because it's not working and it's been a tough ass year. I want to go back to what I was good at. And I didn't want to do that. I didn't want to have that mentality. And I wanted to, use the skill set and the experience that I gained, which I gained a shit ton in the last 7 years of being on Twitch, and make sure that I utilize that into the new project. Just like I did when I first started streaming. Starting streaming and taking it seriously was a huge decision in my mind when I first started. There were days when you knew when I was calling people that was like, that I was still playing kind of music with, and I needed a private conversation, so I would be hours away from you in a private room just talking to people, like organizing my thoughts and being okay with it. Because it felt like I've been playing music for 10 years at that point, and then suddenly stop, and I put out a statement saying, hey, I'm not mentally well, so I'm going to stop playing music, and just cut everything. and then fast forward a couple months later, I'm a streamer. Like, that's gonna come off fucking weird to people that are that we're gonna find, the people that were in that circle or people that knew me. So I had to convince, but I don't really care what they think. For me, it was more like I felt that way about myself, where I was like,
Yeah, because the people you actually called, they were all okay with it.
I think they were
So
to me, but they were like, huh, for sure. But it was for me.
Yeah.
I needed, and now that everything is out there, and I like my name and everything is out there, I can finally talk about what it was like to move on from that. Was that, and everything ties in. But for me, I'm not a great singer. I'm not a great, when it comes to skill, I'm not a great singer. I don't take pride in being a great, like skill wise. I don't know any theory. I can't read music. I'm not something intellectually. I'm not a musical person. I'm very much emotionally and a performer. Emotionally, I'm an emotional and definitely a performer based entertainer. There. So I broke it down in my head. I wrote it down. I broke it down. Like, why am I playing music? And then I was caught on. I was caught on this idea that because that's all I did since I was 13 years old, started playing music, and that's all I loved, and I knew in my head, oh, this is what I want to do. This is what I do. As soon as I strayed from that path, it felt like I had to be music or nothing. It was all or nothing, and it had to be a musician. And then I broke it down and I looked at it. Not a good singer, blah, blah, blah. I'm not interested in music theory. I'm not interested in, of course I want to be a better singer, but then if I was super serious about it, I would be taking lessons every day, right? But I didn't. I was just writing songs, sharing them with the band, going on tour, and, releasing records, and, okay. I realized that I wanted to be an entertainer that expressed my feelings, expressed how I was feeling, and express it in a way that's not just talking. And the device for that was music, because I was a fan of music as a young kid. So it was like music was just this device that was conveniently there, and I decided to try it out. And guitar was the way that I put on that feeling and express it, and lyrics were a way to translate what was going through my head into a shorter, concise form, and people related to it. And that's what I realized. That's one. And the second thing was that I like to create communities. The community building aspect of being in a band was the most fun and one of the most fulfilling things that I've done. And those are the two things, and I put so much work into that. And so those are the two things that I realized that if I just apply that to whatever entertainment that I do in the future, it justifies in my mind. And there's no need for a justification, but there was one that I needed at the time. Justification for why I'm doing this and moving away from music. And when I organized that thought, I felt really clear. I talked to everybody. I don't know if they understand, it doesn't matter, but I was able to say that, verbalize it, and that's where we started Blluist. And I think if you are listening to this and you are part or have been a part of the Blluist community, I think that shows. And that's all from playing music. I'm using every skill set that I had, aside from the literal singing part and writing songs part.
You sing all the time on stream.
Yeah, I know, right? You should be dropping singles with my fucking Sephiroth song and my fucking Every Day's a Day song.
Yeah, Every Day's a Day is a smash hit, okay? Yeah. One hit wonder over here.
Seriously. That's my Stacy's mom. Just kidding. That band is actually really good. Anyways, their album's really good. Anyways, point is that that's what I realized, right? So everything that I worked on 10 years prior to streaming, I was able to put into streaming. So when I'm going back, or when I'm revisiting that, not as a musician, but as a YouTuber, as in like making YouTube content within the scene, I wanted to reapply everything that I learned and all the people that I met through that into this new project. And it took me, since I already did that 7 years ago on day one of Blluist, it was a lot easier to kind of hit that mark and then organize it in my head. But there are so many things that I have learned. And also, I still want to be a streamer. That's still a big part of my identity. I'm not quitting streaming to go back to downtime. And I think it's really important that I make sure that everybody knows that I still want to be a streamer. I still think streaming is super fun. It's a way of expression that's very different from this new project or writing songs, or it's very different. It's a lot more. It's weird because it feels like you're touching grass more than doing the other things. Because like when you're writing music or when you're editing videos or doing subtitles and stuff, it's super lonely. You don't talk. There's this aspect of interaction with Twitch. There's a huge skill set that I'm learning every day, still to this day, that I'm nowhere near mastered, of the skill of streaming. What it means for me to stream well. And this year was a really, really fucking like, yo, you better really hone in on these skills or else you're not gonna be able to keep up type of year for me. So everything kind of came in at the right time. And that's kind of the long story long of how that I don't really talk about on stream, because like that was really long, and there's more to it. But I made my name reveal and why it was important for me to at this time. But so it was really awkward and really uncomfortable for the first couple of days of after making that name reveal.
Yeah.
And I wanted to use this podcast to actually just let that out there and just say it.
To be honest, when I was standing at that pop-up, I was terrified my old workplace was going to come by.
Oh, really? And
to be completely honest, yeah, I was pretty scared that one of them was going to show up.
Would that be a moment of, look at where I am now?
No, because I'm still standing in a store.
Yeah, but the context is completely different.
But if they speak to me, I can say I'm designing. But in their mind, it would be like, oh, she didn't go anywhere.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So I was terrified they were gonna find me there, and because there's no chance they're gonna come and talk to me, most likely. So they were just seeing me being like, oh, well, Kikyuka, like she didn't go anywhere anyway. So
would that have bothered you, knowing where you are and how much of a better and different place you are in now, when it superficially looks like you're in the same place?
Honestly, I don't know. That's why I think I was terrified, because I wasn't really.
That's fair.
I don't know how I would have thought.
That's fair. That is. So, I didn't even think of that. Yeah.
Because I have them blocked on Instagram.
That makes sense. Like,
so, but I know that everyone, fashion scene's really small and connected. So I know they were away.
Sorry, Anu just headbutted the mic.
He's like, no, stop talking about it. But
he's like, that's before you got me.
Yeah. So.
That's I didn't even notice, but that didn't happen.
No. Thank God.
It seemed like the whole experience even TGS. By the way, great job on that interview on TGS. Killed it. Oh my God. We watched it on stream. Oh my God. Everyone was like so proud. Like, look at that. Look at our blue go. That's our streamer. Let's go. Like it was
oh my God. Imagine if I did that interview without any kind of streaming experience. I would have been a fucking mess.
I think so too. I think that's one of those moments where that came in clutch, where you're okay with talking to in front of like the internet and being interviewed, literally put on the spot. Like,
yeah, because Joey was supposed to do the interview, but he was like, I can't. I've got work.
Right.
He had prior obligations, so I was like, so they were like, do you want to do it? You're used to cameras, right? I was like, okay, sure.
Look at that. Blue comes through. Blluist comes through, saves the online aspect of it, the influencer aspect of nonsense. So it's more than just designing. You're also like kind of like that. But because people were like, Didn't you say people like came up to you and talked to you because you were the designer and stuff like that? Like,
Yeah.
That's cool that you're getting recognition for that. Like it's
I
fine.
signed a total of 3 signatures.
Let's fucking go. We need to work on that, right? You were saying that like because I'm not used to it either.
I worked on it. Mine's perfect.
Oh, you got one?
Yeah, I have one.
You need to help me make one. I don't think I will need one, but I'm just saying like I think it's something I didn't even realize that that's something that you would have to think about.
Yeah.
So you made one with Haru or you made one with
I made it Obito.
Obito.
Yeah.
Because that's gonna be your. Is this your third name reveal? Is your actual name Obito that I didn't even know about?
Yeah, my name's actually Obi Rue. Nice to meet you. Please call me Rue from now on. Yeah.
You went from Blue to Haru, and then now you're like, fuck it, I want another online alias. It's Obito. So you can call yourself. We have to call her Obito now. You can call her Obulu.
Because you know what? I don't have a cool like. My name's not attached to anything. Like.
Okay.
So I wanted something that wasn't, a little bit unique to me because like Blue, there's so many Blues out there. There's so many Haru out there. So I wanted something that was very.
You're right because
weird.
Ken is the most unique name that I could ever think of. It's your name.
I'm not talking about you.
No, I'm saying like mine's not unique. It doesn't matter. Like it's.
No, I'm saying I personally wanted one that was unique. It has nothing to do with whether your name is unique or not, or if you want one. I said I personally want one.
No, I'm just saying it doesn't matter. Blue, are you ready? You put the value in your name.
No, I'm not. Oh my god, I'm
People
not saying
like,
I don't like it.
Haru.
No, I'm
is
saying
here.
I just
Let's
wanted
go.
one. I just personally wanted one.
So by the end of next year, how many names do you think you're gonna have? Like 7?
Oh, like 7 more. Yeah.
7 more.
Yeah.
7 different
Yeah.
Instagram accounts.
Yeah.
Holy shit.
Because I need a new name for every project I do.
But all jokes aside, I think Obito is a great name. I think it was because it's Obi and Haru, right? I like that. I really like. It's easy to say. It looks a little weird, and it's kind of it pops up. So you're gonna wait. Can you sign something for me? Can I get your autograph right now?
Okay.
Do you have a piece of paper?
No.
I'm gonna have her, and then she's gonna add her signature right here in the video.
Okay.
So this is where your signature is gonna be.
Okay.
So,
yeah.
Thank you for the signature, Blue.
Okay.
I think it looks beautiful.
Okay. Can we move on? Thank you.
But yeah, I think big 2 months. Sorry, it's a month and a half late. The end of the month is already slowly approaching us. We might be a little late. We'll try our best to keep on tempo here, but that's pretty much what happened. We've played games, but I think this definitely is more important for us, and it's worth the podcast episode. So, that being said, let's go to the questions of this month, month and a half.
First one is from Vaughn. We never answered that one.
The maid one?
Yep. At least I don't remember.
Did we not?
No.
If we did, my bad. Our bad. But okay, let's do it again either way. All right. Vaughn asks, I'm planning my trip to Japan, but instead of asking what to do, I want to know what not to do. What is overhyped or not worth doing? Big tourist trip. I think we answered this.
What did you say?
I don't remember. I don't remember anything I said on the podcast, but I think we answered this. Here, hold up.
I don't think so, because did we answer the one under that? That's the same day, and I don't remember answering that one either.
Oh, maybe.
Or the one after that one? I don't remember answering that one either.
Okay. Let's do it. I'm planning my trip to Japan, but instead of asking what to do, I want to know what not to do. What is overhyped or not worth doing? Biggest tourist traps. Also, how do you say no to some of these really, really cute, wholesome-looking maid cafe girls? And there's a picture of me changing into a maid costume in Harajuku. Okay. What not to do in Japan? Dude, if it's your first time in Japan, everything is worth doing. And then you'll be like, oh, that was overhyped. That's an experience on its own. But don't go to like, if there was something that I would say not to do, money-wise, is like there's going to be people out there They're gonna be like, "Hey, come to my bar, come to my izakaya." The people that's standing outside, don't go into one of those because
Yeah.
you will get ripped off like crazy. People that are standing outside, there's literal announcements on the streets being like, "Don't follow these guys. These guys are scams." So the izakaya scammers is what we call them. Just don't follow them.
So yeah, when you find a place to eat, don't follow the people that's like trying to get you to go to the restaurant. Just find a place on Google instead, and then go there. You'll have a better chance of not getting scammed.
Mm-hmm.
So, because they actually hire staff just to hand out flyers and just to get people into the store, and they get their salary is based off of how many people they can scam.
Yes, this is true.
So, yeah,
My
so
friend
don't
used
go
to
in
work
there.
as one of those.
Yeah, I knew someone who used to do
Right?
that too. So
That's why they never ask you when you're just walking alone.
Yeah.
Because
they're trying to
it's
target bigger
incentive
groups.
based.
Yeah, and they're trying to target foreigners because they don't know.
Yep.
So
What else? Biggest tourist traps.
another one I know is, so I went to Harajuku the other day and Takeshita Dori.
Yeah.
It has now become a huge tourist street. As in I saw
saw that
so
too,
many
yeah.
stores and so many like food stuff that are so overpriced and just so nandaro. Like because they have like souvenir shops, but the quality is not very good. So if you buy stuff, I recommend maybe going a street or two away from Takeshita Dori. I think you should still walk down there. And if you want to get a crepe or something, go get one. Or if you want that giant cotton candy, go for it. But I recommend not buying souvenirs or clothes on that street because as a fashion designer, that sounds really pretentious. I hate it. But
No,
as
but it
someone
gives
who
you- it's
knows
author- it's
clothing, like
authority.
don't buy clothes on that street because I looked at it, it's all shit.
So
Like
wait-
it's so low quality. Like they're selling like yukata and kimono for men and women. Like, yeah, don't buy it. It's the cheapest polyester shit I've ever seen.
So here's a
So-
question. So I'm visiting here.
Mhm.
I want to buy some good clothes. Where would I go? Cool clothes that you think is worth good price. Maybe even Japan aesthetic. Kind of.
Well, I mean, if
clothes.
you want to get like traditional stuff, then go to Asakusa.
Okay.
So yeah, if you want kimono, you gotta go to Asakusa. Don't buy it in Harajuku. If you want the like fashion stuff, like modern clothing, then I actually recommend going to like thrift stores.
Oh, thrift store is a good call, man.
Yeah,
Good
there's
call.
a bunch in like Shimokitazawa is really famous.
Koenji.
Koenji is also really good. I can suggest you a few stores if you're looking for some. Or honestly, like I keep saying this to all my friends, but GU and Uniqlo is recently really really trendy, and they have like taller sizes at some stores. So you should go check that out first.
There you go. Food wise, I would say
Oh, and then what's that one place
if it's on
that our friend was talking about?
for what?
Because I was like, oh, I wanted to go because it had like a cool like Japan aesthetic, but they're like, oh no, it's like a scam. I don't know.
I have no.
That there's like a new, I forgot what it was. Shit. I don't know. If I think about it, I'll add it in the comments. But there's one area that's like new that's supposed to kind of look like old Japan that has like foot baths and like a bunch of restaurants and stores and stuff. And apparently it's like, so the prices are so inflated that locals don't go there kind of thing. But I don't know.
It's more of. It seems like it's more of like a theme park though.
Yeah, it
so
seems
theme
more
park
like a theme
prices
park,
are
so it might
always
be okay.
different.
But
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know. That's just what I heard. But
So yeah, thanks for the question, Vaughn. Jeremy asks, are there any events that you miss going to that have been canceled, been on hiatus since the pandemic, or events that you used to go to pre-pandemic that you stopped to go regularly?
I mean, TGS was on and now it's back and I went. So
That like during pandemic, TGS was like really
was-
it was
yeah.
depressing.
it was all like online.
There was no, so we got to go to the business days because there was no public days,
Mm-hmm.
and man, it was like a
There's
skeleton.
nothing. Yeah, there's
Yeah.
nothing there.
I mean, less people, but just it would just
The
zero
groups were-
festivity.
Yeah, yeah.
For me, shows definitely. Shows are something that I used to go to quite frequently. I stopped going after I was stopped playing music, a lot less. But even more so, just bands just couldn't play shows. So then, and even if I went, I remember like I went to a show. The vocalist had a big ass like acrylic wall in front of them, and everybody, all the people, was like half of the people, half the cap of the capacity of fans that could come. So not that many people. Everyone's spaced out. Everyone has masks. They can't raise their hands. They can't sing along. They can't laugh. They can't talk. And it was probably the most quietest. It was the quietest punk show I've ever been into my life. But it's gotten a lot better after that. But I think that routine, and especially with streaming becoming such a regular thing over the years, I less and less more going to shows. Kind of. Marty asks, so my 3-year-old refuses to listen to English songs and he listens to some Portuguese songs, but his favorite songs are in Japanese. I'll provide his top 5 Japanese bands, but I'm tired of those. Can you please help me out? Give opinions on his taste / bands for funsies and help me point him to something his vibe so I can stop listening to the same songs on repeat. At least it's not Baby Shark, and I only showed him the first band because it was different. The rest he just discovered by pressing YouTube-related videos, but yeah, help me out. Wagaki Bando.
That's a good band.
Hoshino Gen, great.
Okay.
Kanabun, of course. Nekura Toki.
Mm-hmm.
Frederick.
Mm-hmm.
Bradio, Kari Pampamu, help hold me out. Thanks in advance.
Yonezu Kenshi is always good.
Very pop, kind
very
of like
poppy.
artsy a little bit,
Yeah.
I would say.
So pretty melodic. So I really like them.
Vaundy.
yeah.
Vaundy. Vaundy. I would highly recommend. That dude is young guy, killing it right now in the scene. Dude is like he kind of reminds me of Rivers Cuomo, where he's just studied music to the point where he knows what's good and he knows like theoretically what works. And it's a very almost like scientific take on music. But it's definitely kind of, it's really catchy. It's really good. Very mainstream too, in a good way. And I mean that in a good way. Very poppy. If he likes rock, Ella Garden, my favorite band, my favorite Japanese band.
Ella Garden's good.
Can't go wrong with Ella Garden. They are just, I don't know how to describe that band because there's no band like Ella Garden where
They're
in
very
Japan,
unique, yeah.
like they don't sound like a lot of bands here. It's like right in the middle between Western music and Eastern Japanese music, and yeah, those guys are crazy, and they've been killing it. Maybe One Ok Rock, another big one. Radwimps.
I like Radwimps. Or the singer actually started a solo project called Alien, which is I'm trying to check the spelling. It's two L's, ILLION, and that whole album of his is really really good.
It's a lot of like minor bands too. Like shouts out to my good friends in Five New Old. They're a band that we used to play with, and then they got bigger deals, and they're a major label band now, and their sound definitely reflects that. Really good. If you want Japanese stuff, there's a band called I don't know what it's in Japanese.
Toe is really good, but has no
instrumental.
Yeah, it's just instrumental. I don't
Post-rock.
know if he's into that, but Toe just like actually like TOE. They're a really good band.
Toriko's good if you
Toriko's
want
good too.
kind of in that genre. 3 girls doing math rock stuff, with cool vocals. I think they sing.
Mhm.
Also, Toriko's good. They're kind of like the major hitters, but yeah. Just to start you off, maybe I think there's at least one band in there that
Yeah.
would be good. There you go. Thanks for the question. Pend asks, the maid girls ignore you. Okay, yeah, okay, that's just a comment. Robbie asks, how does it
feel to be popular, Kensuke?
It doesn't. I am not popular, and it's again. Yeah, I was in a pop punk band. It's a niche. 10 years ago, so it's that same community feeling of streaming. So I would say the same popularity, air quotes, popularity as I have on the internet. So it's more of a community thing. So I was never popular. Thanks for the question. What's the most memorable gig or
It's
item?
from Duvril?
Huh?
You should say the name.
Yes, I think I've been pronouncing their name wrong, and I'm so sorry if it's too awkward for you to mention it. I keep calling them Doril. It's Duril. door because it says door, so I always say door rail.
Door ill?
Yeah.
You're an ill door man.
Is it do rail? Sorry, I'm sorry for mispronouncing if I have. But so Dudu asks, what's the most memorable? What's the most memorable gig or item that you received when you were on tour? There's quite there's a lot of memorable stuff that happened, but I would say one of the most memorable moments is when I played a show in Osaka, and one of my friends from college that was in Osaka, was from Osaka, from Kobe, came to watch the show, and it was a really cool moment to see a good friend of mine in the crowd. I'll never forget that moment. The curtain opened, and she was there. She told me she was going to be there, but I was like, damn, man, like, you actually came? What the fuck? So, definitely memorable moments. Also, the last show that we've ever played, we finished off, and then we did a reunion show, a couple shows, reunion like a year or two later. I will never forget the view that I had of one of the last songs. It was, I had a moment where the venue had a low ceiling, and I grabbed onto the air conditioner up top, and I was pretty much hanging on it, and then holding myself up, and I just got to see the whole place. And since it was our last show, people were excited. There were also bands from out of the country visiting. We oversold the show, and there were just people outside flowing. There was so much love that day, and I will not forget doing that. And then from the back, our first drummer that we ever played music with, we went separate ways, but our first drummer was just singing all the songs, crowd surfing up, and I had a moment where I grabbed his head like this when he was coming up, and then I gave him the mic, and he sang it must have been like half a second, but to me it felt like he sang like a whole chorus, and it was a really emotional moment that I had, and I'll never forget. And that was like probably a moment for me. We didn't really receive items. We usually reject items from on tour just because they end up going to waste, because we can't bring a lot of stuff on tour. We're already like packed with shit, and we try to keep it. We always said no to like personally made food and stuff like that, which we didn't get all the time, but like stuff like that. But one time somebody made a photo album of every single show that they came to.
Damn.
And it was like years. Well, we were only a band for 4 years, but like I guess like a couple of years worth of just photos, and they gave it to me at an acoustic show. I still remember. Yeah, that was memorable for sure. Brent asks, Blue, do you still keep in touch with the horse chant from the music?
I wish.
video?
No.
Maybe this could be your opportunity. Great. Are you jealous you never got to act alongside an animal in a music video? See, we saw that music video on stream. It looked badass, but I also do know that was Christmas Eve, and Blue was like all.
It was freezing.
So yeah. So she was a horse herself a little bit. Mm-hmm. She sent me a picture. Because we just started dating.
Yeah.
We started dating like 10 days before that, and you're like, oh my god, I don't want to be here. It was like 4 a.m.
Yeah.
It was crazy. So
it was cold.
But you got to be in a music video with a fucking horse, so you win some, you lose some. Thanks for the question. Machi asks, when will the horse be in the collab of your work? The horse
can you guys
misses
help me find
you?
the horse?
That's amazing. Everyone loves the horse. I miss the horse too.
I mean, I miss the horse too.
Even though I never met it. Thank you for that question, Machi. Dumpy asks a theoretical question. If someone comes to Japan and is able to bring you sweets from snacks from Europe, what would you enjoy?
I would enjoy things that you enjoy.
I want to, yeah.
I seriously would like to try local stuff. So, like, I think fun local things are more fun than like getting Kit Kats or like, you know. So if you have anything that's like the name is really, really local or something, or you just know that it's not really sold outside of your country, that'd be great.
I like sour candy of all types of the world. So if you enjoy sour candy, I like your sour candy.
Because I like chocolate and like salty snacks, but yeah, I'm down to try anything.
For sure. Thank you for that question. As it says, if you have a mini fridge in your streaming room, what drinks did you put in it? It's a good question. That's actually a simple and good question. I would probably put energy drinks in there for stream. Man, it would be real hard not to put alcohol, but I'm trying not to drink too much on the stream. And I've been pretty good about it. Right? I usually have water, so I'm good there. So yeah, probably energy drinks. How about you?
I mean, I would want
Snacks,
a
ice cream.
kettle and
In the
water.
freezer?
No, I want water in the fridge for my kettle and some soy milk, I guess, so I can make tea. So I would need a kettle though. Can't really make cold tea. I mean, you can, but that'd be kind of weird.
Yeah.
Wouldn't taste really good. So
What do you need to keep cold that's not? Or maybe I like like frozen fruits or like something cool something I can snack on during stream so I don't have to keep getting up. Just to keep maybe some calorie mates because they're fine if they're cold, right? And just keeps the energy going. Hope I'm not too late. Thank you, Azza. Andres asks, hope I'm not too late. How does it feel to finally reveal the secret identities? Think kind of like we just went through the whole thing, but I would say I'm really happy right now. As of now, I'm really happy that I made it, and damn good decision, and it's all because of the reaction that you guys had to it. So thank you so much for that.
Especially since now I'm like handing out so many business cards with my real name on it. So it'd be really weird if they found me somewhere or like they start commenting on Instagram, right? Yeah, that would have been really awkward.
Yeah, that would. So. Yeah, it's all thanks on my end. Thanks to you guys. You guys have made it so easy. 9 asks, if you were able to pick / change your English name, what would you pick and why? Can't use your current stage names. Oh, if we thought of like a different stage name. So if it was a stage name, not like a real name change, because I love my name, I would never change it. But if I have to think of a new stage name, at this point, I think it's got to be Andrew Zero. I think that's. I love. You know what I like about Andrew Zero? It's the perfect amount of cringe, but like irony, and it's like such a like old username. I like the idea. It kind of works for me. So Andrew Zero. How about you, Blue?
I mean, I don't like Grace. Sorry, parents, but I would love to change my English name. But
to Ham?
No. I mean, I really like short names, so I'd probably choose a short name.
Like Obiru?
Are you really gonna interrupt me every single time?
I'm just. You don't have to. You don't have to
Obidu
react
isn't
to
even
it.
long.
You don't have to react.
Like
to
Obidu's long.
I'm just noise. Keep answering. I'm just noise.
I mean, I would probably just choose like a rendition of Haru, whether it just be just Ru or something.
Ha.
Yeah, Ha. Yeah. I want to be named Ha.
Aru.
So like
Aru.
Ra, but just Ha. Yeah.
Aru is cute.
Aru would be cute, yeah.
Aruいいじゃん, Aru.
But something like that would probably be what I would choose.
Let's do it. How is it being the dark prince of nerd media?
What?
Feels good, man. It feels good. I think you'll feel better when I figure out what that means, but it feels good. You can address me as the dark prince of nerd media from now on. Okay. And what's the worst thing that happened to you?
Though.
What?
You're not really dark though.
That's racist. Okay, what's the worst thing that's happened for you in the pop-up Parko / TGS Blue? Go on.
You like parks. You're like fucking sunshine and flowers. What part of darkness are you? You like your favorite date is to go to the fucking park.
Hey, it's a pretty fucking good date.
I'm saying you're not a prince of anything like darkness related.
You think I'm a prince? That's very nice. Thank you. Now answer the question.
What's the question?
What's the worst thing that happened for you at the pop-up or at TGS? Any accidents?
This might be really TMI, but there was one time where I didn't wear socks to the TGS and my feet hurt really bad. So I had to go get a new pair of socks. And another one is I wore the wrong pair of underwear, so I had to go buy underwear too.
Holy shit. So, okay, never mind.
Yeah.
Because I was going to say, when you first started that off, everyone thought you were going to say underwear, but you actually did. So that was... So it was really uncomfortable.
because I was, to make it really specific, I was wearing pants that weren't super high rise, but my underwear was really high rise. So
wedgie.
No, like you can see, because my undies were like I have like high waisted undies for like just to make everything seamless. So imagine wearing really your undies are up here and your pants are down here, and you can see just like underwear.
Oh yeah, it was like that.
It's
like
in
high
when
school.
when in high school you like low rise and you see all like your boxers. It felt like that.
That's what all the hot senpais were doing. And
yeah, so
it was
I have
that
to go
vibe.
change.
Well, that seems pretty good. So the operation itself, I like that it was more of like a personal thing. It wasn't actually that had to do with like the sign broke down or like something like that, or like you.
Oh man, there was one like that where the shirt Joey was wearing, the button popped off. So the whole time I'm trying to get Joey to change so I can sew the button on, but he wouldn't change and he just left without the button. So now I have this lone button in my drawer that I'm supposed to sew onto Joey's shirt, but it's just there. So
you're waiting for an opportunity for that.
So,
guys, thank you guys so much. Again, sorry that we're late a month and a half. We'll try to be a little bit more on time this time. But big episode, right? I hope you guys enjoyed it. It was a big one. Talked a lot. And thank you so much for always supporting us. And from here on, this is like the next season for us, for Blluist here. So hopefully you support. Thank you so much. And we'll see you guys in the next episode of the SOSO.
Bye. Bye, guys.